Okay, so this review video is going to focus on perfect squares and square roots. So you should know your first 12 perfect squares. So perfect square, again, is any number times itself. Whoops. And then you'll always get, again, that number squared. So 1 times 1 is 1. 2 times 2 is 4. 3 times 3 is 9. 4 times 4 is 16. 5 times 5, 6 times 6, 7 times 7, 8 times 8, 9 times 9, 10 times 10, and 11 times 11, and then 12 times 12. And if you know more than that, that's great, but typically we won't get too far over 12. So that is being the perfect squares. The square root of a number is the opposite operation for a perfect square. Okay, so we say that squaring and square root are opposite operations. Okay, so the square root of 4, when I look up here, okay, is 2. In other words, what did I square to get 4? The square root of 36 is 6, single number. Square root of 81 is 9. Square root of 100 is 10. If you have a number multiplied out in front, the square root of 144 is 12, so 2 times 12 would be 24. If you have a negative, it's still the same thing. Square root of 49 is 7, so I would get a negative 21. Now, what happens if it's not a perfect square? And there's multiple ways to do that. My thinking for the easiest way to do that is look up above in your chart and find one of those numbers that will go into 18. Okay, so what I mean by that is we are looking at these numbers here. Okay, and I want to know which one of those will go into 18. So I could just start at the bottom. 1 will, but I want the biggest. 4 will not. 9 will. 16, no. And so I'm already up to 18. So 9 has to be the biggest number that will go in there. Okay, the square root of 9. And that's 9 times 2. And then we just say, well, the square root of 9 is 3, square root 2. 100. Which one of those numbers will go into 100? Again, when you look at it, 4 will go in, 25 will go in, but I want the biggest, so I keep going up the list until I get to 200. Well, I get to 100, and I know 102. So the square root of 100 is 10, and then I have the square root of 2 left. This is the easiest way that I have found. Now, some people do a prime factor tree, and that is fine also. But this is definitely going to save you time if you can just pick out which one goes into it. So 48, again, if I go up through my list, 1 will, 4 will, 9 won't, 16 will. And if you can't do these in your head, then you can run them in a calculator. You could just take 48 and divide by 16, okay, which is 3. So in this case, the square root of 16 is 4, and then I still have the square root of 3, so I have 12 square root of 3 as a final answer.